In this video, we're going to look at the place values in the decimal number system. So our decimal number system has 10 digits that we can use from 0 all the way to 9. Sometimes this is called the base 10 number system. So here I've got a number, a decimal number, 1,289,678,954.853. So we have a whole number to the left of the decimal point. We have the fractional part of the whole number to the right. So this number has 13 digits. Each digit in this number has a place value. So we can see if we start at the decimal location here, decimal point, and we move left, the first number beside the decimal point to the left is the units, or the ones, sometimes called the ones column. Then we go into the tens column, the hundreds column, the thousands column, the tens of thousands column, the hundreds of thousands column, the millions column, the tens of millions, the hundreds of millions, and then the billions. These numbers here in brackets beside each place value name, we'll talk about these later. So let's now take a look at this number and break it down into each of its place values. So let's now write down that number, 1,678,954.853. So let's start at the decimal point and move left. So remember, the first number there is the ones or the units column. So we can write that down. We choose another color, 4. The second number is the tens column. So that is 5 tens are 50. The third column is the hundreds column. That is 9. There are 9 hundreds there. The next column is the thousands column. There are 8 thousands, so 8,000. The next column is the tens of thousands. There are 7 of them there, so there's 70,000. The next column is the hundreds of thousands. There are 6 of those, so there's 600,000. And the next column is the 9, which is the millions column. There are 9 millions. The next column is the tens of millions. There are 8 of those, so 80 million. The next one is the hundreds of millions. There are 2 of those, so there's 200 million. And the last one is the billions. There are 1 of those, so there's 1 billion. Now for the fractional part of this number, we have the 8. There are, this column here is the tenths column. There are 8 tenths, so we have 0.8. The next one is in the hundreds column. There are 5 of those, so there's 5 hundredths. The next column is the thousandths column. There are 3 of those, so there's 3 thousandths. So we can see here we've broken down this number into its parts. If we add all these numbers together in red, we will get this original number back in green. Before, in the original picture before, we could see that we have these numbers here, 10 to the power 9, 10 to the power 7. Let's write our numbers in this notation. So the 4 can be written as 4 times 10 to the 0. 10 to the power 0 is 1, 4 times 1 is 4. The 50 can be written 5 times 10 to the 1. 10 to the power 1 is 10, 5 times 10 is 50. Next one here, 900, 9 times 10 to the 2. 10 times 10 is 100, 9 times 100 is 900. And we can keep going like this. 10 to the power 3 is 10 times 10 times 10, which is 1000. 8 times 1000 is 8000. We can see here the power gives us the number of zeros in the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We can write the fractional part as 8 times 10 to the negative 1. The negative 1 is the same as saying 1 over 10, so 1/10. We have 8 of those here, so 8 times 1/10. 5. 10 to the negative 2 is the same as saying 1 over 10 times 10, which is equal to 1 over 100. So the 100th column. And we have the 3 to the power of negative 3, which is the same as saying 1 over 10 times 10 times 10 is equal to 1 over 1000. So the thousandths column. So if we were to add these numbers here on the right, we would get the number in green here. Or if we were to add the numbers on the left here, we would get the number in green here.